Crimson Tide roll into Knoxville with leading scorer Brian Williams nursing a bad ankle. But center Jeremy Hayes is carrying the load with 5 straight double-doubles. Tennessee pulled off their first win in Kentucky in 20 years. Now guard Brandon Wharton is on a scoring tear that's lighting up the SEC. Rookie coach Mark Gottfried and second-year man Jerry Green match wits as Alabama meets Tennessee next. It's Super Bowl weekend and a Super Bowl-sized party at Neyland Stadium this afternoon as the Volunteers celebrated their 1998 NCAA football championship. And inside Thompson Bowling Arena, they're still celebrating Pat Summitt and the Tennessee Lady Volunteers 1998 Women's Basketball National Championship. And now, Jerry Green's troops would like to make it a perfect trifecta. And we are inside Thompson Bowling Arena where the 12-9 Crimson Tide invade Knoxville to take on the Tennessee Volunteers as Tennessee hopes to add to their 14-game home winning streak. Hello again, everybody. I am Dave Neal alongside my partner, Mike Pratt. So glad you could join us on our SEC TV Game of the Week. These are two teams, Mike, that are very young, very talented, both looking to move up. Maybe Tennessee a year ahead of Alabama. This Alabama team, under their first-year head coach, Mark Gottfried, not exactly the team that we will probably see next year in the fact that they're not scoring a lot of points this year. Coach Gottfried wants that, but they have a serious score on their roster.
On their track record, on Mark Gottfried's track record, this is not the type of team he would like to have. We're going to see a different team next year in the double-doubles, Dave.
Well, Brian Williams will certainly be tested if he plays because of that ankle injury. If not, Jeremy Hayes will try to add to his 7 double-doubles this year, which is the 4th best in the Southeastern Conference. Meanwhile, here's Tennessee, a team ranked in just about everybody's top 25, lost some games early, but they have since rallied to win 4 of their last 5, including a big game in Lexington. Now they're on a mission. And everything starts in the backcourt. Everything dictated from 2 guys in the backcourt, Tony Harris and Brandon Wharton.
It certainly does. Probably the best backcourt combination in the SEC. Maybe one of the best in the country. These 2 guards can do it from the outside, but they also can put the ball on the floor and get to the hoop. Wharton, the left-hander, excellent range, can flat light it up from Trayville. Tony Harris, also an excellent 3-point shooter, beats you off the dribble, creates tremendous problems in the paint defensively for his opponents.
Combine, these 2 guys score about 23 points a game. They get about 6 rebounds. They dish out about 8 assists. It's a tremendous package in the backcourt. Green calls him fire and ice. Tony Harris is fire. Brandon Wharton is ice. Can an injured Brian Williams be enough to overcome the senior Brandon Wharton? It'll be interesting as Tennessee and Alabama come your way next. Tip-off and starting lineups in a moment. And Tennessee coming your way from Thompson Bowling Arena. Let's take a look at our starting lineups, and you will notice that for Alabama, there is no Brian Williams. That means Neil Ashby gets his first career start, also having a sensational year in his rookie campaign. And we are underway as 13-5 Tennessee, 5-2 in the SEC, taking on Alabama 12-9 and 2-6 in conference play. The Volunteers in the white, Alabama, and the red jerseys. Wharton. Here come the Crimson Tide. And right out of the gate, Chauncey Jones, a 6'1" senior out of Chicago, goes the distance.
And had his way, didn't he? Length of the floor, inline to inline. No one gave him any resistance.
Hayes with the first rebound of the game for him, and here comes Alabama again, pushing the basketball up the floor. Hayes up top, has 5 straight double-doubles, as Mike mentioned in the open. Has been a guy that has been on a mission of late, and really one of the reasons that Alabama was able to come up with a couple of wins in the conference. And they also had a chance to knock off an LSU. They fouled with 1 second left in the basketball game, lose that. They fouled Georgia with 1 second left in the game, end up losing that on free throws. So this team could easily be 4-4 in conference play.
Some people that follow the team felt that they had a legitimate shot to win at Florida.
And Tony Harris rips down the rebound, hands it over to his big man in the middle. Black goes inside, bad bounce pass. MC Mazik comes up with it, and here comes Chauncey Jones.
He had to wonder where he was passing that one. Nothing but crimson jerseys in that paint area.
Mazik pulls down the rebound, but then dribbles it off his foot. First turnover for the Crimson Tide with 18:23 to play in the first half. Mike, we talked about it, a key matchup to keep an eye on. Jeremy Hayes, he has to play well with Brian Williams sitting on the bench. We don't know how much Williams will play, and how C.J. Black plays against him defensively, I think, will be a big key.
Hayes, the real only big body for the Crimson Tide. C.J. Black, on the other hand, has some teammates as big as he is that they can throw in against Hayes.
Brandon Wharton knocks down the three. Mazik misses. Black with the rebound. Tennessee will get out and run every opportunity. Wharton pump fakes, goes baseline, gives it back to the freshman Yarbrough. He's fouled and will step to the free throw line. There's some transition basketball early on.
Vincent Yarbrough, one of those freshmen, huge height, all world coming in. Started slowly, but since the first of the year, Jerry Green told me this afternoon he's been really, really pleased with the way this youngster has come on. He really possesses some wonderful hands. He's going to be able to do things, slashing to the basket. He's going to score around the basket because of those hands. Real talented youngster.
Youngest player in Division I basketball. Won't turn 18 until March.
We can expect to see a little pressure against the Crimson Tide. They've created some turnovers.
Those are our officials today: Curtis Shaw, Bruce Benedict, and Willie Guardiola. A good trio on hand. Of course, you might recognize Bruce Benedict, former Atlanta Brave.
Baseball fans know him well.
Ashby shot off the mark. Loose basketball. Foul against Alabama. That'll go up against Chris Rollins. That'll be his second.
Alabama on the year, Dave, a very good rebounding team. They like to get up on the glass, very effective at the offensive end. And Neil Ashby, a slender youngster, will be interesting to see what he can do against a bigger, stockier front line of the Vols.
Jeremy Hayes playing some nice defense. Jones with it, takes it inside the free throw line. His runner just a bit short. Tony Harris now. You see the quickness from Harris. The pull-up jumper up and in.
He started to put the shake and bake. Didn't need it. Defender backpedaling. Left him wide open. He is extremely quick with that ball.
5-second call in effect. There it is. Curtis Shaw blows the whistle. That is a second turnover for Alabama. Chauncey Jones needs to make an effort toward the basket to eliminate the 5-second call.
He had Chauncey Jones on his heels that time with the shaking, simply because Jones honored that quickness, Dave, that we talked about. He wasn't going to move up on him, get left in the dust.
I guess you'd rather give him the 16-footer than let him drive to the basket.
It's less embarrassing.
Exactly. From a personal standpoint, give him the 15-footer.
Yes, sir. You know what he was thinking, don't you?
Sure. I've had a lot of people have driven past me. Inside, Tennessee gets it to C.J. Black. He lays it up and in. Tennessee now on a 9-0 run.
That's where Tennessee has a distinct advantage bulk-wise inside. They have multiple players. Inside, they're strong, they're physical, they can play at the low post. Black almost had a pick and roll, executes the nice layup. I think he scored it on a busted play.
Well, C.J. Black has 2 double-doubles this year. Had 17 points, 11 rebounds versus Georgia. Had 17 points, 10 boards versus LSU. And the second-team All-SEC performer this year.
Alabama without Brian Williams laboring from the perimeter. In the game now. But until now, their outside game was nil.
And Brian Williams has checked into the basketball game with the bad ankle. He actually injured the big toe, but the tendon that runs up through the foot, through the ankle, is actually is what bothering him around the top of the ankle.
Hayes got a good look at the basket that time. Turned it, no problem, just couldn't get it to go down.
C.J. Black with the long-range jumper. Give him credit. That is his 7th three-pointer on the year. He came in as a 33% shooter. He's got 5.
Black showed us he can shoot the 3. Jeremy Hayes can also step out for a big man and let it go.
Jones gets hammered by Tony Harris, and the two of them look eye to eye. C.J. Black, not exactly a small character at 6'8", 255.
Not exactly known for the three-pointer, but not afraid to let it go either. And it was sweet and pure.
Tennessee now 4 of 7 from the field. Alabama's missed their last 5 shots.
They have stretches where they cannot manufacture points at all. And with Brian Williams on the bench at the start, it was obvious from the perimeter they were not going to get off to a good start.
Chauncey Jones started the first dozen games or so. Sat on the bench for a couple. Now he's back, leading the charges. Need a little bit more out of him. Alabama trails. Jeremy Hayes was benched by his coach. Decided to change the lineup a little bit. In the 5 games since Jeremy Hayes was reinserted in the lineup, look what he has done. 5 consecutive doubles, and he has been dynamite, including a 24-point, 13-rebound performance against Arkansas and a big win on the road. And now Brian Williams is back on the floor. Could help Jeremy Hayes free up because, as you said, he has not seen a good look at the basket yet.
You need that outside game, I believe you're saying, Dave, to open up the inside. And from a coaching standpoint, you're 100% correct.
We'll see how well Brian Williams moves on that bad ankle. He's also got a little touch of the flu. Hayes inside, trying to defend Black, but a jump ball. Great defense from Jeremy Hayes.
MC Mazik also excellent job building down to create almost a double team. Black turned into it, so you had Hayes straight up nose to nose on him. Mazik comes over. There he is. Good team D.
Alabama just 1 field goal so far. Now they've turned the basketball over for the 3rd time. And Isaiah Victor comes on the floor. And so does Mr. Hathaway. It's Charles Hathaway at 6'10", 260. Back on the floor. And C.J. Black takes a seat. He scored the last 5 points for Tennessee.
Charles Hathaway, excellent rebounder, blocker, and just bangs and knocks in there. Makes everybody pay attention.
The alley-oop. Just off the mark. Harris looking for Victor, and that would have brought the SEC all the way around when you can pick up a national championship in college football.
No question. They presented 4 or 5 national championship trophies that went on and on and on. What an honor for that team.
Brian Williams goes baseline, dishes it off inside. MC Mazik, the recipient of the Brian Williams work.
The ball's defensively looking for Brian Williams. Moved over to help pick up when he penetrated. Mazik alertly positioned himself to score.
Isaiah Victor with a turnaround.
He can score. He can score in bunches. 9 for 9 against Florida last week.
Alabama looking for their 2nd field goal in the last 6 minutes. Won't get it on this trip. Back comes Tennessee. Tony Harris looks left. Wharton off the glass. Count it. Oh, what a beautiful fast break led by Tony Harris.
Talk about a backcourt playing together, Dave. That was a wonderfully executed transition. Ball in the middle. Harris looks the defender off. Wharton, right place, right time. Filled that lane perfectly. That's the way a backcourt should play together.
What a no-look pass, and Brandon Wharton showing some rise as he hangs in the air. Brandon with 5.6 points and 3 assists, and Tennessee has built their advantage to 17-5.
Tide running a little UCLA cut, trying to isolate either Williams and Hayes on one side.
Williams couldn't get it to go. Aaron Green checked in moments ago. He can shoot the 3, launches it off the mark. Inside, MC. The follow. I believe Chris Rollins got the follow. He did.
Nice glass. Rollins all over that rim.
Hathaway
You know when he's on the floor. I will always refer to him as Mr. Hathaway.
So, and he's not the shirt maker either. He's a big fella. Alabama does a good job defensively, right at the top of the SEC in defensive scoring.
Green, his three. And that'll be Tennessee basketball. With 12:51 to go in the opening. Alabama scored the first bucket. That came from Chauncey Jones. Then they went 5.5 minutes without a field goal. And right now they're just 3 of 12 are the Crimson Tide, while Tennessee is 6 of 13.
The Tide playing a very up-tempo game offensively, looking to push that ball up as quick as they can.
Aaron Green takes it inside. Bounce pass. Victor gets bumped by Hagedis. Count it. Sam Hagedis, who just checked into the game, the former Mr. Basketball in the state of Alabama, fouls Isaiah Victor.
Dave, you and I were talking the game. Isaiah Victor, one of the most athletic players in this league. Tremendous athletic skills. Jumping is one of those. His eye on the rim and can.
Off the front of the iron, Jeremy Hayes gets the rebound. With the bad ankle last outing against Florida. Didn't expect to play. Ended up playing over 30 minutes. Hagedis out of Mobile, Alabama. Number 43 in the crimson jersey. There's 10 on the shot clock. Williams will try to go one-on-one with Wharton, looking for the three. Takes it baseline, nowhere to go. Has to put it up. Tennessee leads the conference in block shots, gets another. Wharton.
Tennessee will take it right back at you from their defensive stand. And they do it very well and quickly.
Rashard Lee with the bucket for Tennessee, 21-7.
Last time Brian Williams got caught with Isaiah Victor at 6'9", defending him. Really didn't have much of a shot.
Hayes trying to bounce, however. And there he is. He's
Hayes, or clean looks. Defensively, Vols do a good job inside, wrapping around, defending the low post.
And knocks it down. And there is a timeout on the floor. 11:34 to play in the opening half. It's been all Tennessee so far. Rashard Lee getting in the action as well. Back in a moment. Inside Thompson Bowling Arena, 21-9. 11:34 to go in the first half. SEC men's basketball action continues next week on SEC TV as Cliff Ellis and his amazing 7th-ranked Auburn basketball. Look at those field goals. Tennessee on fire. Alabama just can't get a good look at it.
Every picture tells a story. They not only can't get a good look, nothing was falling when they did get a few good looks. It's been a story for them all year long.
Rashard Lee with back-to-back buckets. He has 5. That a three-point version.
Off the bench, coach's delight. You insert a player, comes up big.
Hayes spins. Shot blocked in the middle by Victor, but Hayes will step to the free throw. Improved as we have gone on the past couple of weeks. He's now 4 of 4 from the free throw line.
I would say his numbers could improve if the outside shooting improves. It always opens things up for a big guy. Bama in the zone.
Hathaway, his 15-foot turnaround off the back of the iron. Tariq London runs the show. He carried the basketball. Thought he was going to hand it off to the left to Chauncey Jones, but didn't have the opportunity.
Credit the Vols for back that time. 4 Tennessee players were back defensively in that breakdown. London 4. Creating a turnover situation.
The alley-oop. Alabama was ready, and Hayes comes away with it. Chauncey Jones. And an offensive foul against Sam Hagedis. Trying to move out Charles Hathaway. His second.
Again, Tennessee back quickly, shutting down a transition opportunity. Alabama seems to labor here in the first 10 minutes offensively. Not only getting a good shot, Dave, sometimes getting into a play.
Vincent Yarbrough. Nice inside outwork. Hathaway takes it to the baseline, misses the jam, goes up strong and a foul, and Hagedis and Hathaway exchange pleasantries on the baseline.
Yarbrough showed us some excellent hands. The pass was on the money. The big guy, Hathaway, can't go down, and it becomes a rumble. He's everywhere, and he's got the biggest one. He most likely will win. He is Charles Hathaway.
That is the third foul on Hagedis. He'll have to head to the bench. MC Mazik back on the floor. C.J. Black replaces Victor. There's Mr. Hathaway, who missed most of last year with a blood clot in his shoulder. He averaged 7.1 rebounds, best among freshmen in the SEC.
Reminds you a little bit of a...
Back in 96-97.
Excuse me, Dave. It reminds me a little bit of a small version of Daryl Dawkins.
I wonder if he has some chocolate thunder.
I tell you what, he's got that power.
Started with Daryl Dawkins.
Yeah, okay, I'll buy that one. That's a good correlation then.
Daryl Dawkins. He was worth the price of admission.
He was one big man. Hathaway's heading that way.
Yarbrough swings it over to Tony Harris in the corner. Brandon Wharton up top. It's a 14-point Volunteer lead.
Tide has held their own defensively with this zone.
Jump ball. Possession arrow favors Tennessee, Alabama, so give the ball to the Crimson Tide. Nice defense from Jeremy Hayes.
Only the second time we've seen some pressure applied by Tennessee. Thought we might see more of this. Alabama this year have coughed it up.
Tennessee gets back, rotates defensively. That is 6 turnovers for the Crimson Tide. The alley-oop fails again. That's 3 alley-oop attempts by Tennessee. They have resulted in turnovers, and that's number 4 for the game. Volunteers.
Might be time to move away from that play. And Jerry thinks too.
Yeah, with that when he took his coat off.
They work on that play, I know, but when it's not going good, let it go, huh?
Right. Just let it go. Foul against Alabama. That'll put Tennessee at the free throw 1-and-1 situation.
Alabama, of the two teams, has the shortest bench. There's some bodies over there, but Godfrey doesn't necessarily play them. Haven't been overly productive far this year.
Well, you go down and you look after the starting 5. You go down and only one person averages over 4 points, and that's Sam Hagedis, who's sitting on the bench with 3 fouls right now. You go down to 2 points, 2 points, 1.8, 2.3. Just not very good offensive production on that Alabama bench.
There's one thing you can give Mark Godfrey is find him a way to gift-wise offensive.
Rick London looking inside for Hayes. Torrey Harris talking to him a little bit. MC Mazik, the free throw line, nearly lost it. Chauncey Jones will reset it. 9 on the shot clock. Nice defense from Wharton. And great offensive work from Chauncey Jones. Had to really work to get that bucket.
Well, he certainly did. Clock was running down. That's a difficult time to have the ball at the top of the circle, but he made use of it.
Stolen away. Here comes Jones, who has 6 points to his credit. The bounce pass. The follow. The tip in. Count it. Count the bucket. Jerry Green can't believe it.
I believe that was MC Mazik. Excellent job of following in transition. Some people felt he stole that one.
Tony Harris takes it inside. He gets fouled. That'll be on MC Mazik. Jerry Green still a little bitter about what he perceived to be offensive goaltending. That is the first foul on MC.
Aroused a few of the Tennessee Here also.
Tony Harris got the line. 2 shots.
Tony Harris having a great year. Was one of the 30 finalists for the Wooden Award coming into the season, and the co-freshman of the year a year ago with Jermaine Jones, who is having a tremendous year. However, Georgia loses to Auburn today, and Jermaine Jones only had 2 field goals and 7 points. Tony Harris with 4 points, 2 assists. Jerry Green likes what he sees so far. His team leads it 30-16. He leads Alabama 30-16. We talked about in the open how C.J. Black would guard Jeremy Hayes. Well, I think Jeremy Hayes is showing he can play a little D of his own.
Alabama struggled offensively, but all night long defensively, they have played hard and played smart. And this 2 points resulted from an excellent play defensively by Jeremy Hayes. Mark Godfrey's team, a very strong defensive team, no question about it.
SEC women's basketball continues tomorrow on SEC TV. Vanderbilt faces first-ranked Florida. That's coming your way. 2:30 tomorrow, starting with SEC TV today. Hope to see you then. And that basketball we may never see in. Vincent Yarbrough gets up high, swats it down the tunnel.
Return to sender. Guard should not side, Vincent Yarbrough says.
2 blocks for Vincent. Vincent kind of quiet tonight, just 2 points. And there's the block shots. Tennessee leads the conference 7.1 per game. Hayes loses the handle. The long outlet to Wharton being tracked down by some Tide players. Didn't get there in time. Brandon Wharton now has 10.
Extremely difficult shot that time by Wharton. C.J. Black, though, nice touchdown pass by the big.
London, bounce pass to Hayes. They're forcing Hayes outside his range. He has to work to get inside. It's been difficult. He can shoot the jumper.
When he gets it low, he gets double teamed.
Harris thought about the long 3. Yarbrough did too. Harris will shoot it off the front of the iron, a little bit out of his range. C.J. Black powers his way to the basket. He's got 7.
You said it all, power.
Tennessee on a 6-0 run. Jeremy Hayes with just 4 points. And Bruce Benedict calls a foul on C.J. Black for a hack across the...
C.J. Black alertly finds this ball. The big guy turns into Elway, and all of them. Pass was on the money. Acrobatic shot at the other end. The offensive end, they've called it power, brute strength, whatever you want to call it. The big just goes to the rim. Alabama not strong enough physically to challenge C.J. Black.
C.J. will down for the time. He'll take a breather with 6:30 to play. He's got 7 points. Separate. Ashby kicks it out to London. Aaron Green comes away with the basketball. That's 9 turnovers now by Alabama.
Alabama getting too to the defense of the Vols when they do guards. The big back line. Tennessee slapping a lot of balls.
Pass inside. Victor push from behind by the Grasshopper. Neil Ashby, that's his first.
Ashby, small frame youngster. Isaiah Victor, big strong guy, pinned him on the baseline. Ashby had no choice but to foul.
Isaiah Victor at the line.
Tennessee 9 of 10 throw line tonight. That 9 of 11. Loose basketball on the floor, pile up, and that'll be a foul. See where that goes. Goes 6'3", about 175. He got tangled up with Hathaway at 6'10", 260.
Surprise. Alabama still in that zone. Changed to a matchup. Had been playing straight 2-3.
Yarbrough. His first field goal attempt off the mark. Ashby way up top. Tough man defense. And Tennessee has held Alabama to just one field goal over the last 8 minutes. Now they'll have to wait for another opportunity as Tennessee gets a block shot from Isaiah Victor.
Quick jumper. Tough to shoot over him.
His three. No good. Here comes London.
I have been impressed all first half, Dave, with the way Tennessee's gotten back defensively. Very consistent.
It has been tough for Alabama to find a good look at the basket. 5-second call, maybe. 5-second or a timeout. That's a 20-second timeout called by Doc Martin. Didn't know where to go. So a 20-second timeout. Gottfried, and it is tough first half. Hayes.
He hasn't had any help from the outside to open things up, and now he's trying to shoot over one of the quickest jumpers in the SEC. Not going to happen. He needs that perimeter game to open up his game inside.
Jeremy Hayes working on 5 straight double-doubles. His 7 double-doubles this year are 4th best in the conference. Derek Hood at Arkansas leads the way with a dozen.
He's going to have to this evening to keep that streak.
Wide open shot from Chris Rollins off the mark. Or at least it was a decent look.
Yeah, clean look. Nothing wrong with that.
Isaiah Victor off the back of the iron. Tennessee has gone cold from the outside of late. London not afraid to push it. Rollins. Alfred Moss checks onto the floor for Alabama as well. He wears number 40, trying to post up on the low block. Moss gets hacked by Hathaway. So Hathaway this year just 1 of 4 from the foul line this season, now 1 of 5.
Well, when it rains, it pours. 16 points so far for the Tide with 4 minutes left to go in the first half. That's not a lot of points, Dave.
Charlie off the mark. Tennessee going to the outside in the past few minutes, and it hasn't been working. We've been stuck on 34-16 for quite a few minutes now.
Lee hit the hardwood from the bench shooting and made him his first stint. So he probably figures he's still got the hot hand.
Alabama finally breaks that string as the Grasshopper goes up high. Scored at the 8-14 mark.
Nice little running one-hander.
Ward goes inside to Victor. He turns around just inside the free throw line. Off the back of the iron and count it.
Wasn't pretty, but it certainly works for.
They'll take him any way they can get him at this point. Both teams have been struggling from the field in the past few minutes, but they've picked up the pace here the last 3 points. That's 4 points.
For man, the Grasshopper offensively has come alive.
We'll stay here with it as a foul. Jeremy Hayes on a hold against C.J. Black. That's his second.
You've got a couple big guys in there really working hard, posting up. You get caught behind. Hayes really has no option but to foul Black. Black guy you want to get behind and let him low. Make him get to the foul. He can do.
Well, he can do that. He can put him down. C.J. Black, a sensational throw shooter. He came in at 86%. He leads the conference in that department as Jeremy Hayes takes a breather for him.
You know, gets low. He spreads out really nice. He calls for. He dances in there. He kept Hayes away from that ball defensively. I really like that. I've watched him do it quite a few times this afternoon.
Well, C.J. Black has 9 points. Tennessee has built their lead to 18, 38-20. leads by 18, just over 3 to play in the first half. And be sure and join us every Saturday for SEC TV Weekly, the show that brings you your favorite schools and sports in the Southeastern Conference. That's SEC TV Weekly, Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern, right? Blues basketball. Tennessee had a couple of looks at it, but it'll be Crimson Tide ball with 2:50 to go.
Rashard Lee again had the hot hand when he came off the bench the first time. Almost got it to the rim. Ran into quite a few Tide players.
Moss tried to jam it. Not going to happen as Torrey Harris gets up high and picks up his first personal.
Tough to finish at the rim against this team.
Gets that to go down. Now on the year, he is 2 of 8 from the free throw line. Victor couldn't believe nobody was there to bump him. And a traveling violation against Isaiah. Gives it back to the Crimson Tide. And that's only the 6th turnover by Tennessee in the first half.
Tennessee able to get that ball in the middle, Dave, with that zone last 2 or 3 times down the floor.
That is turnover number 11 by Alabama.
In a situation like that, Brian Williams is the guy that can help against this press tremendously if he was capable of playing.
He's on the bench shaking his head as I look over. Has a bum ankle. May not see much more time than we've already seen, which was a couple of minutes. And count the 3 for Rashard Lee. That's his second three-pointer, and UT builds their lead to 20 as Lee has 8.
Lee's had the hot hand.
Rollins goes hard to the glass, and the follow from Alfred Moss. Come on, Alfred.
Alfred won the lottery here in the first half, playing gangbusters.
Easy, easy.
It's amazing what playing time will do for a player, huh? It just invigorates you, right?
Wharton kicks it out to Aaron Green. 15 on the shot clock. Green takes it inside, looks down low. Victor fouled hard, and he'll step to the free throw line. Alabama not going to give up any cheap points in the paint.
Aaron Green's the guy that made it all happen, though. Off the bounce against the zone. Nifty pass. Isaiah Victor usually finishes that with his athletic skills. Alabama charged him. One thing about this Alabama team, they play it pretty upper lip, uptight, go after you type basketball in that paint area, Dave. They don't back down.
For Victor, 6 points, 5 boards, couple of blocks. Couple of substitutions coming in the game for both teams. One of those happens to be Tony Harris back on the floor as Brandon Wharton gets the rebound and kicks it back out to Aaron Green.
Well, that's something you don't need after a foul shot.
Foul inside goes against Sam Williams, the 6'8 freshman out of Demopolis, Alabama, picks up his first personal.
You're down 18. You'd like to think if your opponent who's leading by 18 misses a shot, that you're not going to give him a second opportunity.
Opportunity to add some points to his credit and hadn't been able to accomplish it as he's 0 for 5 from the foul line. Isaiah came in shooting 60% from the free throw line. I've been there 88 times before this game.
Pretty good shooting Tennessee team from the foul line on the year.
Just over a minute to play in the first half. Mark Godfrey would like to get this half over with in a hurry. That ball comes sailing right over my head.
Nice hands.
Didn't touch it. If you don't touch it, you can't be called for a turnover, right? 42-23 is our score.
Alabama would just like to get to the locker room and not fall any further behind. Been a brutal first half for the Tide.
Jones, his 3 on the way, got it. With a defender in his face, he launches the 3.
Tough shot, huh? Deep in the corner.
Alabama now 1 of 2 from behind the arc. Alabama won't shoot many threes without Brian Williams on the floor.
But more shots like that will certainly help their cause in the second half.
Tony Harris answers back with a three. It's back to a 19-point game. Harris with 7. Jones pulls up the high arching shot, too long, and that will do it for the first 20 minutes of basketball in Knoxville, where the fans wearing orange are extremely happy. Tennessee looking to win their 5th game in their last 6 outings. And they go to the locker room with the lead. And when that happens, they are 12-1 on the season. Back with our halftime activities from Knoxville in a moment. Tennessee looking good.
TV Game of the Week as we are at halftime, Alabama and Tennessee. Well, Mark Gottfried played 3 seasons for the Crimson Tide under Wimp Sanderson, and in those 3 years that he played for Alabama, they went to 3 consecutive Sweet 16s. He also holds some shooting records that still stand in the Alabama record books. But most importantly, Mark Gottfried wanted to come back and Tennessee off to a good start in the first 20 minutes as they lead Alabama 45-26. We are at halftime. Well, Jerry Green is now in his 2nd year as the head coach of the Tennessee Volunteers. Last year in his inaugural campaign, Tennessee got off to a 10-0 start before they entered the league play. It was their best start ever before they entered the conference play. Well, he wanted to get his team some confidence last year. He did that. They were young, youthful, and energetic. Well, this year that confidence is paying off. Steve Martin has more on Jerry Green.
Well, I think first of all, we were always positive with them. We never talked about negatives, always the good things that we're doing. Explained there were some things we needed to do better. But we stayed away from negatives. We gave them as much confidence in anything that we could give it to them in to have them think positively. And I thought that was just a major thing. They had been kind of, like I say, put down, scoffed at, laughed at to some degree. And I thought that the more confidence that they got, the better that they played.
What Jerry Green awakened last season was a feeling that had lain dormant in the men's basketball program lo these many years, a winning attitude. In a region where football and women's basketball dominate the landscape, Jerry Green has proven to be the critical missing piece in the reemergence of the Tennessee men's basketball team. And while changing styles of play invariably takes a degree of patience for both coach and player, the Vols quickly grasped Jerry's upbeat style and just as quickly returned to the upper echelons of the SEC.
I thought the first 10 games were still playing very individualistic. I thought that the 6-7 games into the SEC season, we were still playing as a group of individuals. But finally, after that 7th game, hey, maybe this old gray-haired guy knows what he's talking about, and by golly, they started listening a little bit better and started playing it a little bit. Very, very pleasant surprise. And sometimes a team that has the greatest expectation turns out to be very marginal, and sometimes a team that has no expectations turns out to be very positive.
What a year it was for the Tennessee Volunteers last season, Mike. They go 20-9, a sensational run in Jerry Green's first year. The confidence, the enthusiasm, the excitement for Volunteer men's basketball is back. It's evident tonight, over 16,000 on hand. It's not just about the Lady Vols anymore. And you got to be happy for a man like Jerry Green because, A, he's just a good coach, and B, he's a great person to be around.
No question about it, Dave. I knew Jerry back when he was at UNC Asheville. He did an excellent job then. He built that program. He's going to turn this one back around. I don't have any doubt about it. He's already done it in recruiting. Keep your eye on this ball club.
When you look at these two teams on the floor tonight, Mark Gottfried in his first year enters a kind of a similar situation that Jerry Green had a year ago coming here to Tennessee. In the first half, it was really all Tennessee. Alabama scored the first basket of the game, and then Tennessee just took off, really behind the play of a guy that is really talented. He can do a lot of things for you, Brandon Wharton, and that's nothing new.
Nothing new at all. He goes for 10 points, 5 assists. I was very impressive with the way he passed the ball. He really took care of his teammates. C.J. Black is a guy who is a recipient of a couple of those passes. Pure power on this particular play. 9 points for the big guy. He's a dominant force inside. For Alabama, Jeremy Hayes struggled offensively at the low post. Didn't get any clean looks at all. But to show you the quality of this young man's game, he hustled extra hard defensively, making things happen, which led to a basket or two at the other end. The defense
has struggled from the field, an area they have struggled in all season long. Tennessee at 48%. Three-pointers, pretty much what you would expect. Alabama doesn't shoot them very often. But turnovers, 11 for Alabama, resulting in 12 Tennessee points.
Those two numbers, Dave, stand out. The shooting percentage and points off turnovers. Those 12 by UT, that's a pretty big play right there offensively.
Well, we've got 20 more minutes of basketball coming your way. Alabama needs a quick start to stay in it. Back in a moment. For Tennessee with 20 minutes to play in the basketball game, getting ready for second half action. There are our leading scorers. Brandon Wharton with 10, C.J. Black with 9, Rashard Lee with 8, a couple of three-pointers. And over at Alabama's side, nobody yet to get into double figures. See, Zeke is a guy to keep an eye on. He can get hot with the basketball. That'll be Crimson Tide ball.
Ashby returns that one to the sender. That was Yarborough, who had some nice hops himself. The Grasshopper got up quickly.
40-inch vertical leap.
All he needs to do is pack some pounds on that lean body. Only a sophomore.
Tennessee. Brandon Wharton slices through the lane and lays it up and in.
Way too easy. Not enough Crimson jerseys packing it in and forcing him to give it up. He got to the rim quickly.
21-point lead, the largest of the game. And Tennessee will have a chance to build on that. And there's Mark Godfrey. Some scores from around the SEC. Arkansas loses to Ole Miss in Oxford. Georgia gets beat at home by Auburn. Auburn now with 20 wins this season.
Oxford, not a place people like to go, huh, Dave?
No. Not a place you want to go play basketball. Brandon Wharton with now 5 points to open up the half. He has 15 in the game. He scored 18 in the second half against Vanderbilt on Wednesday night on his way to 21 points.
When we get a chance, I want to tell a story Jerry Green told me about Brandon Wharton earlier this year. It's kind of funny.
Ashby, high, off the glass, no good. Here comes Tony Harris with it. He pulls up, wide open three, counted for Tony. He has 10, and it's 53-26. Timeout taken by Mark Godfrey as this lead has expounded here in the opening moments of the second half.
Jerry Green told me this afternoon that Brandon Wharton was shooting so bad early in the season that he had a stretch where it was just horrible, that when he finally made one in practice, he clapped and cheered for himself. Tony Harris is not shy to pull that trigger, and he's not shy to let it go down either.
Well, he shoots better from three-point land than he does overall. 40% from behind the arc. But Brandon Wharton and Tony Harris, what a backcourt duo, tandem they make up. And I tell you what, come tournament time, watch out for the Volunteers.
See, another thing that makes it real tough to guard this backcourt is because of their size. You see the freshman picks. Quite a honor for the Tennessee Volunteers, but their size matching up, Dave, defensively, Harris and Wharton. Not many clubs can match up size-wise.
Well, that snaps an 11-0 run by Tennessee. And that's Jeremy Hayes' first field goal of the basketball game. Harris pulls up off the front of the iron. No good. C.J. Black had it swiped out of his hands. Here comes Chauncey Jones. He goes in and is fouled, and Chauncey will step to the free throw line.
By you, or he can shoot the shot, and very few are as quick as he is.
9 points for Mr. Jones. And make that 10. Chauncey, 51% free throw shooter. He started the first 8 games, then came off the bench for 7 games, and is now back in the starting lineup. This is his 7th consecutive start. Provides a little bit more offense than Tariq London does, and they desperately need offense here in the second half. Really stolen away is some pressure from Alabama. It is stolen away. There goes Chauncey into the big man's lane.
and give the bucket to Chris Rollins. So 2 quick points for Mr. Rollins. He's got 4.
He might have gotten away with a little shuffle down underneath there.
Hayes with the block, but a foul before the shot, or on the shot, I should say, and that'll go against Neil Ashby. That's his 3rd.
Alabama's press created a steal in a hoop. That time they didn't quite get set. The Volunteers rushed it right back up the floor, resulting in an easy opportunity. You might also say Chauncey Jones turns 23 tomorrow. Wish him a happy birthday.
Exactly. So happy birthday, Chauncey. Here's Jerry Green, who has done a remarkable job. Just more than anything, the confidence that he brought back to this program. As he said in the interview we heard at halftime, that Tennessee basketball, some of these guys were almost laughed at, but he knew they were talented. Traveling violation against Chauncey Jones. That's 13 turnovers now for the Crimson Tide.
Good point about Jerry Green. Back when he was at UNC Asheville, always a fun-loving, very positive guy, very upbeat guy. NAIA Division II. Now he's moved on to Division I. He's kept that same attitude. He's fun to be around. The guys like it. He's got the type of attitude that can build the confidence you're talking about.
Well, he was an assistant with Roy Williams in Kansas when they won a national title. He went to become a head coach in Oregon, where he did a nice job before coming back to Tennessee. And a nice play from Chris Rollins, who's showing some serious athletic ability. Getting up the floor, he's fouled and has a chance for the 3-point play. That foul will go against Wharton, and that's his 1st.
When you're 20 down, you don't need to spend time fooling around on the half court. Get the ball up the floor and take a shot at it somehow. And that's what Chris Rollins does. Looks it in, stays strong with the ball. Bama has to find a way to generate more shots and a bunch of points to get back in this game.
Rollins now with 7. Smart Godfrey, his team, after giving up 5 quick points to open up the half, have kind of slowed things down a little bit now and brought it back to a 19-point game.
Vanderbilt threw a little press at Tennessee about the 10-minute mark Wednesday night. Bothered Tennessee somewhat.
How about the left hand from C.J. Black? Even he likes that. He's got a dozen.
Nice, easy hook shot. Just turned quickly. Ball just slipped right off his hand. Perfect shot.
Ashby outside the arc. Throws it to Rollins and tries to go inside to Mazik, who's been very quiet here tonight. Rollins shot off the mark. That'll be a foul against Chauncey Jones as he crashes the glass against Vincent Yarborough. That'll be the 2nd foul on Jones.
Yarborough too big in there for Jones. Jones had no option but to foul.
Ward, his 3 a little bit short. Knocked out of there. Alabama has it. Rollins ahead to Jones. Gives it back to Ashby. Jams! Oh, baby, there's a look at his 40-inch vertical leap. Yeah.
What do you say, Neil Ashby, huh? Oh, yes.
Carried the basketball. That'll be a turnover. But how about the jam from Neil, the grasshopper Ashby? The 6'8" sophomore from East Point makes. Tennessee has used 7 of 16 3-pointers to take a 56-37 second-half advantage. And there is that number.
A few times. Oh. They are quite a team. Cliff Ellis has put together all of the pieces to the puzzle. Chris Porter might have been the last one. They certainly put it together. Huge advantage. Doesn't surprise anybody. Tennessee has the shooters. Bama on the season has struggled.
Chris Rollins with an athletic move. Well, if nothing else works, use your athletic ability. That's 9 now for Rollins, up to his season average.
Rollins, until now, was known as the best defender on the Bama team.
Harris knocks down the 3. Tony Harris continues to stroke it. He now has 13.
Nice ball movement that time in transition by the Vols. Kicked it up quickly and found the open man.
Ashby pulls up off the back of the iron. The follow no good. Ball tied up in the paint. Rollins and Torrey Harris going at it.
Chris Rollins trying to take charge of this game, isn't he? He's scoring, he's defending, now he's going to the glass, making his presence felt there. A lot of effort by that youngster.
Long outlet. Tony Harris with a little pull on Jones's jersey. I don't think Chauncey appreciated that.
No, I don't think he did, if that elbow means anything.
Ashby probably a little excited after it's done. Gets up high in the air. Oh! Come on, Neil Ashby. Welcome to SEC basketball.
6'8", took it to the lane and faded for that jump shot. That was sweet.
He's got 8. Ashby came in, averaging just 2 points and 1.1 rebounds.
Mark Gottfried, you've got to like the offense you got from him here tonight.
Foul inside against MC Mazik, and MC has had a really quiet night. He has 2 rebounds, 4 points. That's his second personal foul. The way MC is his given name. That doesn't stand for anything. A block on the inside. That'll go against Alfred Moss. Will shoot 2, and that's his first.
The Vols have not had any problem taking the ball to the rim or scoring in the paint this afternoon. Mark Gottfried doesn't have those big, strong bodies back there to really intimidate anybody, Dave, defensively.
Rashard Lee out of Durham, North Carolina, a 6'6" senior. He's got 9. Charles Hathaway on the floor. Isaiah Victor comes on the floor. Torrey Harris, C.J. Black will get a breather. Jerry Green happy with their effort. Rashard Lee came in averaging just over 6 points. Tennessee now has 4 players in double figures. Only 1 for Alabama. That's Chauncey Jones with 11. Ashby gets it to Jones in the corner. Jones takes it inside, pulls up, rolls around and in. Alabama getting some points here in the second half on some tough shots that are falling.
Chauncey Jones possessed that time. He willed that one in. Difficult shot.
Brandon Wharton knocks down the 3.
Nothing difficult about that, huh? Makes it look easy.
He's got 18. Alabama has hit on 7 of their last 9 field goals. Hayes only 1 field goal this game. Ashby high again. The runner. He's got 10.
Mark Gottfried has to be happy. He's searching everywhere for offense, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Neil Ashby shows up with 10.
He just elevates above the defense.
He's kept himself far enough away where no one hammers him because he's so slender.
6'8", 180.
That's slender.
Lee. Victor the follow. Count it. Nearly a block from Ashby, but Victor gets credit with 9 points now.
Victor went right to the glass and just scarfed that rebound up.
And how about the follow from Alfred Moss? And a technical foul against Alfred as he pushed off as he was heading the other way.
Just a few emotions out there. When you're getting beat pretty bad, Dave, sometimes it's not the most fun thing to partake with. Moss a little excited, maybe a little frustrated at this point in time with Tennessee. I don't think they're going to get him for armed assault with that move, though.
Well, Alfred came in averaging 0.3 points per game, so he's got 5. So, you know, give him a little slack. He's
Absolutely
excited.
Hey, he really has put out a nice effort. I might let that call go.
19 points and 5 assists for Mr. Wharton, who's trying to convert on the 2 technical fouls. And does so. Tennessee will get the ball on the sideline.
At this point in the game, that's a tough call.
Well, it's been physical in the paint tonight, and I think maybe the crew trying to just make sure it doesn't get out of hand, because there has been some banging going on down there, especially when Hathaway's on the floor. That three is blocked by guess who? The grasshopper, Neil Ashby. Cedric Patton on the floor for Alabama now. He wears 31.
Isaiah Victor very quickly gets up and sends one back. Tennessee, a team that averages a little over 7 blocks a game. You can see why with the big bodies and the quick leaping ability.
3 fouls on Tony Harris. Chauncey Jones heads to the free throw line. 51% foul shooter on the year. Good looking stroke there. He's got 14 points tonight to go along with a couple of assists.
This game might be different. Brian Williams was healthy. Jones playing very well. With the addition of Neil Ashby, game might have been a little different, a little closer.
Chauncey's season high was 15 in their opener versus Ohio State. He answered back with a dozen against Auburn in a loss. Aaron Green brings it up with Tennessee leading by 20.
Bama back in their zone. Tennessee content to attack it on the half court.
Wharton kicks it out to Vegas Davis, who knocks down the three, his first bucket of the game.
Tennessee has some good shooters off that bench to provide offensive spark instantly.
Vegas Davis played some great minutes last year for this Tennessee team when they were suffering through injuries. Matter of fact, they only had, I think, 6 or 7 healthy players last year against a top 25 ranked Ole Miss team, and ended up winning, and Vegas Davis was a big reason. Wharton, his three, got it.
They run right at him. Moss made a balanced effort defensively. Brandon Wharton just stuck it in the hole. Boy, can he shoot, and is his concentration not special.
23 points for Brandon Wharton. Tennessee now 11 of 22 from behind the arc. They shot over 50% against Vanderbilt from behind the arc on Wednesday night. Jones off the mark. Here comes Tennessee. I asked Brandon before the game, I said, your shot back? He says, oh yeah, I'm feeling it. And he is.
He didn't tell you a story that time, did he?
No. Third foul on Hayes, but Brandon Wharton is one of these guys that can lead this team, I believe. He's a senior. He's played the point. He's played the 2 guard. He's now, he never really was sure where he was going to play. It's set now. He's their 2 guard. He knows his role, and he's been down this road.
He's had a lot of success before this year, and then this year he's had some very nice success up in Lexington against Kentucky. Huge shots that he knocked down in a very tight and physical.
Kentucky, the game winner. And Victor knocks down the free throw. He's got 10 points and 8 boards and 3 blocks. It has been a solid team performance thus far for the Volunteers. Back in a moment. See, 75, Alabama 48. Volunteers rolling right along. And so does our SEC women's basketball coverage as action continues tomorrow on SEC TV as the Vanderbilt Commodores head south for a matchup with the 21st ranked Florida Lady Gators. It all starts off with SEC TV today at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. That's tomorrow right here on your regional home of Fox Sports Net. In women's hoop, Vanderbilt certainly one of the shocking stories this year. But Jim Foster's team will be ready to play in the SEC Women's Basketball Tournament. And by the way, we'll have 6 games for you coming your way on SEC TV from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Always a great time. But right now, Tennessee has really had a great time tonight in front of about 16,500 folks.
They haven't done much wrong. Nothing that we saw anyway. Jerry might be nitpicking a little bit on the tape. As far as the performance that we've seen, they've been near perfect.
Vegas Davis, one of the great names in college hoops.
Wouldn't you like to know he's probably got about a 12 12-foot-long nickname list with that Vegas.
Yeah.
Huh?
Roll the dice might be one.
That might be one. Card man might be another. I could go on. It's not.
Chauncey Jones on Aaron Green. Tries to take him to the hole. Kicks it to the outside. Patton's shot is good. That's a three-pointer. Cedric Patton gets on the board. The freshman out of Huntsville.
Alabama's still hustling. Still in this ball game.
Isaiah Victor comes away with it. Del Baker, athletic move off the glass with the left hand. He gets on the board.
Baker couldn't get the first one down. Was rewarded with a second opportunity thanks to Isaiah Victor.
Stolen away. Baker takes it the distance. The left hand up and good. 4 quick points now for Del Baker, a sophomore out of Cleveland, Tennessee. Actually, the older brother of Vincent Yarbrough.
Wouldn't want to be sitting over there next to Mark Godfrey. This is a tough time for him right now. The team continues to play hard for him, but boy, that lack of offense is really killing him. And he's struggling down deep inside.
Largest lead of the game at 28. Hayes out to Rollins. Off the back of the iron. Moss working hard on the offensive glass. You said it. This Alabama team has not quit despite the big advantage by Tennessee.
And it was interesting. Some people felt that last year at times the team just kind of rolled over or quit playing and really struggled. This year so far, it's been a tough year for him. Been a tough year for Mark Godfrey. But they have never quit this year. No signs of that tonight.
Inside it goes to Hayes. Had a tough night in the paint for Jeremy.
Every time he gets the ball low and he turns, there's a couple shirts, Tennessee shirts, meeting him, really throwing him off balance. When you have that perimeter jump shot, that negates the double team. When there's no perimeter jump shot, here comes the double team.
Jeremy just 1 of 5 from the field, 4 of 4 from the free throw line, a total of 6 points and 7 rebounds. Still time for him to make his bid for a 6th consecutive double-double. With 8.5 minutes to play in the basketball game. But one big body leaves in Charles Hathaway, and they bring in another one in C.J. Black. So a very physical evening in the paint for Jeremy, and you can see by the sweat on the jersey.
It's almost like it's tag team wrestling with the bodies these guys got, Dave.
$79-55. Vegas Davis, count it. That's a 2. Foot was on the line.
The card man. When you look at Tennessee, you have to be impressed with their perimeter game.
Traveling violation against Jeremy Hayes. Shakes his head. Mark Gottfried. You know, one thing about Mark Gottfried, he is a positive individual. He was an assistant coach at UCLA for 7 years under Jim Herrick, but spent a lot of time, as he would say, hours upon hours with the Wizard of Westwood. And he would learn a lot. He said, talking not necessarily about basketball, but about life and decisions, life decisions. And it said it's really paid off. Hayes gets a little active down the baseline. That's 4 fouls on him. C.J. Black led to the free throw line, taking another look.
Jeremy Hayes cannot get through the pick. And when he doesn't, Black gets ahead of him. The big guy gets it in that low. You either let him go and score or put a hatchet on him.
And Black knocks down the free throw, but you talk to Mark Gottfried, and he will be quick to tell you that he learned a lot about himself in talking to John Wooden. And he feels that that is a big reason why he's back at at his alma mater as the head coach.
Well, what a learning experience that is, to have the time and be able to sit at the foot of one of the great coaches of all time.
Well, C.J. Black with 14 points, and Mark Gottfried's team still plugging along. Tennessee was 10 of 20 from behind the arc versus Vanderbilt on Wednesday night when they picked up a win in Nashville. Well, here tonight, they have been oh so hot once again. 11 of 22 from behind the arc. They're shooting 45% as a team overall, but the three-pointers have been the story tonight, Mike.
The Vols have lived up to their billing as one of the premier three-point shooting teams in the league. Harris and Wharton, the combination at guard, deadly from Treyville.
36 points between them, 7 of 12 from behind the arc, and Brandon Wharton continues his hot shooting. He had 21 points against Vanderbilt. He scored 44 points in his last 2 games, and he's 9 of 16 in those 2 games behind the arc.
I would say he found his jumper.
Yeah. That is bad news for the rest of the SEC. And Sam Hagginess, who just checked into the game, picks up a foul in about 5 seconds. That'll be his 4th. He picked up 3 in about 2 minutes in the first half.
Poor old Sam, he's shaking his head. He's wondering if he's going to have any extended stay out here on the court tonight.
And C.J. Black will head back to the free throw line, and that's not a place you want to put C.J. because he leads the conference in that department. He has missed 2 tonight.
Just jinxed him.
He's now 5 of 7 from behind the line. There's the grasshopper, a little bit strong. Tony Harris on the outlet. Neil Ashby gets back. Hammers Tony Harris, and that'll be 4 fouls on Ashby, and the crowd wants a technical, an intentional foul. Just 2 shots.
Neil Ashby takes the shot. He runs the length of the floor and blocks this shot. That youngster is skilled athletically. I don't think there was anything illegal or mean-spirited about that play, but I watched him when that ball left his hands. He looked a minute, saw that the ball was retrieved. He headed back down the floor, Dave. I mean, he ran like a deer and blocked that shot. That was a big-time defensive play.
Number 52, Jeremy Hayes, returns for Alabama. Also back in the time for the Strawberries.
Crowd still booing. Vegas Davis makes it a 30-point game.
One of those games Alabama would like to stop it right now and head on back to Tuscaloosa. But you find out what your team's made of when you're coaching in situations like this.
Jeremy Hayes spin move on Torrey Harris off the back of the backboard. Blocked. It'll be Alabama basketball.
Jeremy Hayes seems a little frustrated in low because of his lack of clear touches. Gets way behind the glass. Very difficult to play back there, particularly when you have a load of shot blockers on the inside.
And Hayes just had to throw it up. He's now 1 of 7 from the field.
Tough night. Tough night.
17 turnovers now for Alabama. Crowd still buzzing about the foul to Vegas Davis.
They definitely were buzzing about that, but I didn't see anything illegal. Matter of fact, I thought Ashby's effort should have been applauded.
Cedric Patton picks up the foul. That'll be his first, and that will send Vegas Davis to the free throw line,
where he was just 30 seconds ago. Tennessee's bench production has been very good this evening.
He now has 8 points.
The time of year where you can give your bench playing time. They perform well. Their confidence soars. Coming down the home stretch toward tournament time, nothing but a plus.
Well, in this building, Tennessee is certainly tough to beat. They have a 10-game winning streak this year, 14 going back to last season. And those two guys we just saw, Brendan Wharton and Tony Harris, are a big reason why. Tennessee leads 31-7 in that department. And Sam Hagginess is fouled and will step to the free throw line. C.J. Black looks like he might have got chopped. Looks like he's holding his arm.
Hagginess doesn't fake. C.J. takes the ball. Looks like he might have caught an elbow. Hagginess then goes on with it. But watching the lower part, can't tell.
Might have just pulled an abdominal muscle, maybe. It's tough to say. We'll keep an eye on C.J. for you.
Big guy's in some pain.
Hagginess knocks down the free throw. Former Mr. Basketball in Alabama with 1 point.
You never know. The big guy just might want to get a blow in a game like this. He might think it's best to sit over there and watch with the guard combo.
And Hagginess knocks it down.
Some players look at this type of game as a chance to fatten the old average, and some guys aren't real motivated about playing at this point in time. Would rather save the energy.
Green hangs in the air, couldn't get it to fall, but how about the tip from Isaiah Victor?
Wonderful hands, huh? Wonderful hands.
Hagginess goes hard to the glass, and a blocking foul called. That'll go against Torrey Harris. That'll be his third.
Hagginess got out quick. The big guy ran the floor. Isaiah Victor, wonderful hands. Oh, man. That was a special athletic play.
You saw him dart through the screen. Lay it up and in. Hagginess, 2 of 3 from the free throw line tonight.
Tennessee's back line, Dave, really combination of physical presence, and you have a player like Isaiah Victor, quickness to the ball, jumping ability. They got a nice blend as far as being able to rebound.
Aaron Green with the basketball, already graduated his undergraduate degree in history back in December. A long-range three-pointer from Del Baker. Patton goes baseline, and he travels with it, gives it back to the Volunteers.
Del Baker may look at this opportunity as one to fatten his average a little.
Dell came in averaging just 1.7 points and had made just 5 of 20 from behind the arc, but that's a good-looking shot.
Wide open. The Vols utilizing that three-pointer again. They have gotten Fat City with that tray tonight.
The alley-oop. Aaron Green to Isaiah Victor. It doesn't get any prettier than that. 14 for Victor.
They tried it in the first half, Dave. Didn't work very well. That's not the problem that time.
Hayes tries to find his shot. Can't do it. Double team. Turns it over. Vincent Yarbrough with it. Aaron Green gets chopped right across the chops. That would have gone down. This place might have really gone crazy. Blocking foul against Aaron.
From the top, the hands easily above that rim. Nice angle on the pass also from Green.
So that's what the top of the rim looks like.
It's amazing. I've seen it before, but only on television too.
You used to just feed Dan Issel, right?
Dan never saw the top of that rim either. Trust me.
Violation against Alabama gives the basketball back to Tennessee. Don't count the point. 4:46 to go in the second half. Here comes Terrence Doc Martin. He replaces Patton. And Aaron Green will run the show, I'm sure, for probably the remainder of this basketball game.
The senior known as a shooter gets a little playing time at the point.
Baker Baker pump fakes Martin. Whistle down low. 3-second violation for people to come. If Tennessee continues to build on their success, they will continue to draw big crowds, and it's really an important thing for this Volunteer team down the stretch. When you look at the numbers offensively, their percentage shooting at home versus on the road is amazing.
This can become a real snake pit. Is that what I hear you saying?
Tennessee shoots 48% at home, just 38% on the road. They shoot 59% from the free throw line on the road, and yet they shoot 73 here at home. Those are numbers that can make a difference when it comes to winning an SEC regular season championship.
No question about it. It also can make a big difference when it comes tournament time.
94-60, 3:44 to go. There is a timeout on the floor. As you get a good look inside Thompson Bowling Arena, Mark Gottfried will talk it over with his troops.
We are already looking forward to 1999. Thank you very much.
Philip Fulmer today speaking to thousands. They anticipated about 40,000 on hand to celebrate the 1998 national championship at Neyland Stadium. It was almost like a football Saturday here with the people tailgating outside. They had the flags waving on top of their cars, and well, the crowd showed up here in Thompson Bowling Arena to watch this basketball team that certainly has things headed in the right direction as well. And who knows, maybe a national title in hoops isn't too far down the road.
Could very easily happen. How good do you have to feel as an athletic director to have your football and your two basketballs going upward and your football coming off a national championship?
Agnes off to Mark. Aaron Green with it. We approach the 3-minute mark. Davis inside, foul. Alfred Moss will pick up that personal, trying to to 60, a 36-point advantage for Tennessee. I don't think either one of these teams expected this kind of rout, if you will.
Not at all. Without Brian Williams, they tried him for a limited period of time in the first half. Offense has been little and far between.
Shard Lee nowhere to go. Vegas Davis. There is Brian Williams on the bench. Only played 5 minutes. 0 for 2 from the field. Has a sprained ankle and also has a case of the flu. Just not his day. How about the spin move from Aaron Green? Didn't go down. Alabama will come away with it.
Mark Gottfried probably felt better to rest Brian Williams. Some people felt maybe played too much or shouldn't have played against Florida. A little early coming back. Plenty of time left in the season. They need Brian Williams.
Rejected. Alabama lost possession. 8 blocks now for the Balls. Rashard Lee couldn't get it to go down, but he will step to the free throw line.
Rashard Lee at the line, shooting 2.
10 points and 2 rebounds for Mr. Lee. Be sure and catch the program that shows you a different side of your favorite coaches in the Southeastern Conference. SEC TV's Beyond the Game. This week we visit with Georgia basketball coaches Ron Jerson and Andy Landers. That's this Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. on your regional home of Fox Sports Net. Substitutions coming in for Tennessee is Todd Austin, a freshman out of Lafayette, Tennessee. Macon County High School steps on the floor, along with Del Baker. Martin with the basketball for Alabama now. Ashby. Had about a 5-minute stretch there where he looked like he was ready for the All-American list.
No worse than all SEC. Now he's turned stone cold.
Baker misses. Victor with the rebound. The crowd wants Austin to shoot it, but Todd gives it up. He's trying to get that shot going. Can't do it, but he's fouled and will go to the free throw line.
Todd Austin looking at numbers 99 and 100. That might excite this crowd also.
Well, if he can do it, that'll be the first time Tennessee has scored over 100 points in 6 years. The last time it happened was against Arkansas in the 92-93 season when they won 101 to 91. So not only does Todd Martin go ahead and get in the scoring book, he also has a chance to get Tennessee to the century mark.
This place may erupt.
Moss dumps it down low to Hagginess. He goes strong. Can't get it to fall. Moss with it. Lost it. And with 1:02 left in the basketball game, Alabama will maintain possession with a new shot clock as they trail by 40.
Todd Austin, 2 points he won't forget in his lifetime.
There's 1 minute left in the game.
That ball goes off the happy. You got to be happy with the direction your team's headed. You've now won 5 of 6 basketball games. You're about to go to 6-2 in SEC play, and you've beaten Kentucky on the road. Finger roll up and in.
You might have your team primed, I hear you saying, and I would agree. He's getting good combination outside-inside game. That combination could take you a lot of places, Dave. So you're exactly right. Jerry has to be extremely proud and happy.
Hathaway misses the follow. Martin. And Moss gets it. Up next for Tennessee will be a date with Arkansas on Tuesday night. That's a 9:30 Eastern tip-off. For Alabama, we'll head to Mississippi State. A block shot again. That is number 9 for the Volunteers. The alley-oop. Victor to Baker, and that'll do it for the basketball game. But Tennessee came out red hot. 100-64 is our final score. We shall return. Put a wrap on things from Knoxville in a moment. Tennessee at 14-5 picks up the win. Alabama falls to 12-10. So for my partner Mike Pratt, I'm Dave Neal saying so long from Thompson Bowling Arena, where the final score is Tennessee 100, Alabama 64. Be sure and join us next week for more SEC men's basketball as LSU faces Auburn at 6 o'clock Eastern. And the women are in action tomorrow as number 21 Florida hosts Vanderbilt at 2:30 Eastern. You've been watching SEC men's basketball coverage on your regional home of Fox Sports. So long, everybody. We'll see you down the road.